If you're still at the planning stage when you should be executing, you will always feel behind. Hi ladies, welcome back to the Feminine Universe. I am so happy to have you here. There are few things more exciting than being on the cusp of a new beginning, whether that's a new job, new home, new season, or a new year. These new chapters always feel full of hope and full of possibilities. But it can also be a little confusing and overwhelming to decide what to let go of, what to carry over with us, and what is truly worth focusing on. So I thought it could be helpful in this final stretch to go over 5 habits and mindsets that are critical to focus on now in order to set ourselves up for success in our next chapter. So if you think you can benefit from something like that, let's get started. The first thing I would say to keep in the front of your mind is that the little things are everything, especially as we start shifting into a new chapter, new era, or new year. There's this tendency to start setting the big goals and wanting to make the big changes, and that's great. But as I said in my very first video and in several videos since, an amazing life or an amazing year is rarely the product of 1 or 2 big moments. It's usually about being consistent with several smaller productive habits to see real life changes and results. Remember, what you see from an elite athlete on game day or at the Olympics is just a small piece of the picture. That moment you're witnessing is quite literally a reflection of hundreds, if not thousands, of small things adding up. You're watching the byproduct of every hour of practice, every meal and vitamin, every ice bath, every stretch, every night of sleep for that level of recovery and peak performance. It's all those little things coming together before your eyes. So in your own life, stop underestimating the power of a lot of little things done consistently. You don't need to do everything perfectly or shatter records overnight. You just have to do the little things on repeat and get a little better each time, and that will get you real results that are not only impressive, but also sustainable, and that's what you want. Setting the big goals is great, and it's necessary, but without the little things being done on a consistent basis, the big things won't happen. Don't tell me you want to lose 50 pounds, but yet you're unable to tell me what you're eating tomorrow. Don't tell me you don't have the time or energy to work out or meal prep or read a book, but you're up until 2 or 3 a.m. scrolling on your phone, wondering why you have no energy the next day. Don't tell me you want more from life and you want those little extras from others, but you're unwilling to do more or do a little extra for yourself. And as we talk about the power of the little things and the extras, I want to touch on one of my favorite little extras in life, and if you've been with me for a while, you already know it's perfume. Perfume is something that just always makes me feel like I'm taking that little extra step to take care of myself by adorning myself with beautiful fragrances that capture my vibe that moment or that day. Which brings me to Scentbird, our sponsor for this portion of the video. It's great to be working with them again, and this time around I tried 4 completely new perfumes that I've never smelled before, and I struck gold. For anyone who doesn't know, Scentbird is a subscription fragrance service that allows you to receive a new perfume every month at your doorstep for about $17 per month, from celebrity fragrances to designer houses, right up to niche houses as well. I received Boho Boco's Wet Cherry Liquor. This one is a true cherry bomb. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be delicious. With notes like cherry, liquor, caramel, and sandalwood, it is sweet, sensual, and a little mysterious. Next is Skylar's Vanilla Sky. As a vanilla lover, this one smelled like home to me. This is my happy place. Based on some of the notes like cappuccino, vanilla, and sheer amber, I was expecting more of a coffee shop or coffee-based drink kind of scent, but I actually get more of a baked goods, funnel cake with powdered sugar at the carnival vibe, which is amazing and makes this the type of vanilla that's easy to wear year-round. And lastly is Brown Girl Jane's Dusk. This one reminds me of a best friend who always smells good. There's something both familiar and elegant about it. It's so pretty, so feminine, and so creamy. The vanilla orchid, coconut, jasmine, and musk in here combine some of my favorite notes seamlessly. This one just walks all the lines perfectly, and she is absolutely signature scent worthy. Scentbird is a great service if you're starting your perfume collection, trying to establish your perfume identity, or you want the convenience of having scents shipped straight to your door for you to try. Also, if there are more expensive niche perfumes that you would like to try before spending hundreds on a full bottle, this would be a great way to do that, because the amount of fragrance that you get with Scentbird is perfect to get a real feel for a fragrance, how it interacts with your body chemistry, and how long it lasts. Depending on how you spray, each vial will give you about a month's worth of fragrance to work with. The size also makes it easier to travel around with, whether it's for trips or for touch-ups. If you're interested and you'd like to try Scentbird, use the code FEMININE55 for 55% off your first month, which comes out to about $8. If you do decide to try them, I'd love to know what you get, and if you already have a signature fragrance or one you love currently, I'd love to know what it is in the comments, because sharing is caring, and you ladies have put me on to some awesome scents and combinations, so keep it coming. The next thing you want to do now is make sure you plan and track everything. We've all heard the phrase failing to plan is planning to fail. I think most of us can understand why it makes sense to write out our plans before we begin executing the ideas, before the start date, and definitely before the year begins. But a mistake some people will still make is to start their official planning process when they should be taking action. If you know you want to meal prep, you shouldn't be creating your meal plan menu and grocery list on Monday, risking missing out on ingredients or being pressed for time. You should be doing that over the weekend, so when Monday arrives, you're ready to go. When a new year is approaching, you don't want to be pulling out your pen and paper and creating your plan January 1st or 2nd. You want to do that a few weeks to a few months before, so that you can hit the ground running when the year begins. If you always start planning at the stage where you should be executing, you will always feel a bit behind. Putting a pen to paper costs you nothing. It makes ideas real, puts things in perspective, and helps you to strategize effectively. Before you create that budget, having a few months or even just 1 month of tracking your natural spending can give you a clearer picture. Before choosing what item to splurge on, it may help to take inventory on what you already have in your closet to gauge which piece would go with the most things and make the most sense. You see, even if you aren't ready to make a single change yet, having that visual snapshot of where you are can help you see where you're strong and where you're lacking, what's plentiful, what's scarce, where there's harmony, and where things are clashing, so that when you are ready to take action, you already have an overview of what's going on in your life, how to prioritize, and ultimately how to make the absolute best decisions for yourself. So go get your notebook or open up your notes app and get to planning and tracking. I'll put up a few videos I've already made on these subjects as well. The next thing is to take care of your appearance. Taking care of your appearance is another one of those things I think you should never put off until next week or next month or next year, because you truly never know. You want to step into every season, every era, and every room looking and feeling your best. For any of our new friends or anyone uncomfortable with the idea of focusing on appearance, please take a moment to understand the philosophy here. Realize that taking charge of your appearance, even in only one area, is one of the fastest ways to feel in control of your life, and that feeling will trickle into everything else. If you've had negative thoughts or low self-esteem for a while, you can't always shake that overnight. It's a process. If you're in a bad situation, you can't always move out or get a new job overnight. It's a process. But you can do your nails or deep treat your hair or pick out a great outfit right now. You can take any of those situations from struggle to stunning within the span of an hour or a day and see those changes instantly. You see, without even talking about the way you're treated or the positive assumptions others make about you when you're well kept, the way you care for and present yourself is actually one of the few things you have instant control over. It's great to have long-term goals and changes that are in progress, but sometimes you need those instant results. You need those little instant wins to give you an immediate boost and to create that positive momentum. You need to remind yourself that you're worth it and that you're in control. And like we've gone over, these small wins tend to snowball into the bigger wins, especially when you're feeling more confident. And that's something I think you should capitalize on now. The next thing I recommend doing now is embrace radical responsibility. Start taking radical responsibility for yourself and for every single part of your life. One of the most meaningful, powerful things you can do in your life is to take responsibility for yourself. Stop giving people, situations, and outside influences so much power over you. Radical responsibility comes with such power, acknowledging things like, I am responsible for my happiness. I am responsible for my time. I am responsible for my health, for who I entertain, and the kind of treatment I accept. If you can do the hard part and wrap your head around the fact that a lot of what you don't have, what you're not doing, and what you're not getting is on you, then you can step into the beauty of realizing that getting what you want, living the life you want, and seeing results is within your power too. Do outside influences have an impact on us? Of course and absolutely. But there is so much more that we have control over than we think. Stop letting a few bad minutes or a bad hour mean a bad day. Stop saying other people made you act out of character. Stop saying you don't have the time to do the things you want and need to do, the things that will get you further ahead and get you the life you want. Understand that there are people putting in work from 5 to 9 a.m. before going to their 9 to 5 or from 5 to 9 p.m. after getting home from work. Embracing radical responsibility requires getting to a place where you want change more than you want comfort. As the saying goes, a year from today, you can either have results that you're proud of, or you can be in the same exact place you are today, clinging to your list of excuses. Start asking, how can I make this happen for myself? How much of this can I do? What's the closest I can get? Because I'll tell you what, 80% of your goal is so much better than 0%. It's so much easier to say, here's why I can't, than to make a plan to make it happen. The cop-outs and the excuses are plentiful. But if you don't want something, just say that and stand on it. If something is not a priority right now, just say that and stand on it. But when it comes to what you know you want and what you know you don't want, employ radical responsibility to get it or to remove it from your life. And lastly, lean into your femininity now. As part of this community, we all understand the importance of embracing our femininity. And we know there are certain things we should all be doing to make the most of our journeys. Things like getting comfortable receiving, putting a little extra effort into how we show up and how we communicate, nurturing relationships with the people who care about us, making time for self-care, choosing to bring peace to the people in our lives and the rooms we walk into, and of course, being strategic and thinking long-term. Really leaning into that energy now will make a huge difference in how we move through this season, in the way we show up, in the way we speak to people, and in the plans that we prioritize and commit to. And aside from the parts of our journeys we have in common, there are parts that will look a little different for each of us, and we need to lean into that too. You need to focus on your unique version of femininity as well. The things that make life easier, more enjoyable, and more productive for you as the woman you are and as the woman you want to be. Maybe that means taking better care of yourself, from your health to the way you dress. Maybe it means a little less, all my life I've had to fight energy, and a little more asking for and accepting help. Maybe it means putting in that work and being the first person in your family to enter that tax bracket, or doing the opposite and hanging up your corporate hat for the homemaker hat you truly want. Maybe it's realizing you're happier alone, or maybe in a time when women are being badgered to view all men as the enemy, standing in your particular version of femininity can mean being able to say, yes, I want a man. I want a happy, healthy relationship where I can love and be loved, and that doesn't make me any less strong or valid. Whatever it is, whatever lifestyle you choose, now is an excellent time to make sure your feminine journey is suited for you and is serving you, both in what you want now and what you want long term. Someone who was about a year into her feminine journey recently described leaning into her femininity as finally swimming with the current after spending her life swimming against it. I think that's such a beautiful way to put it. There's still going to be work to do and things to learn, but why spend one more day making life any harder than it needs to be? And that's an idea I think we can all truly benefit from right now. And there you have it. A few things you can do and a few mindsets you can start shifting into now, so that when that new era, that new chapter, or that new year begins, you're not still fighting your way out of the fog and the haze of the past. Instead, you'll be ready to hit the ground running and make it absolutely magical. Until next time, ladies, stay feminine, stay focused, and have fun.